Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Toni and I'm a homeschooling mom to 4 kids. And I have a box here that I just opened up that has so many fun, super awesome things for history. So we are talking all about history today. We use Biblioplan history and I've used it for, this will be our 3rd year and I love it. So if you are looking for something for family style learning with history, Biblioplan is definitely something you need to look into, because I love it and I'm so glad I found it a couple years ago. So I'm going to show you guys all the stuff that we are using this year, and there is a special surprise inside this box that I'm going to be giving away at the end of this video. So make sure you stick around so you can find out how to enter the giveaway and get something super cool from Biblioplan. So it's good, I promise. So let's get going. Okay, so I did open up this box the other day. I didn't actually take anything out. I opened it because I got a bunch of boxes at the same time and I wasn't sure what this was, but it was Biblioplan stuff. Okay, so Biblioplan is a history that we just love. It's a God-centered history, so you learn Bible history right alongside with world history. So I love that aspect of it, and not all curriculums do that, and I love that. So it's a 4-year history program. There's 4 different years of history, and the first one is ancients, then there's medieval times, then there's early modern, and then modern times. We've done the last 2. We did medieval, we did early modern last year, and now we're doing modern. So I'm so excited to look in here because I have not even seen these in person yet. So that's awesome. Okay, so let me show you what we have. Biblioplan has lots of different ways that you can teach this history. It's very flexible, it can work with any family. You can make it as simple or as complex as you want to make it. There's tons of add-ins that you can add to history to beef it up, and different assignments and all kinds of stuff, or you can keep it just really simple. So I love that aspect because there have been years where we've done a lot more, and there's been years when we just basically used the textbook and just did the bare minimum, and either way my kids have learned a lot from it and I just love it. I'm so excited about Biblioplan. So I'm going to show you what I got from them. I have partnered with them again. I love partnering with this company. They're awesome. So thank you to Biblioplan for sending me this stuff, because I can't wait to share it with you guys. I grew up as someone who didn't like history. I was I remember in high school falling asleep in history pretty much every day because I had that like monotone history teacher that used like a projector and turned the lights out, and it was so dark and boring, and I just pretty much fell asleep every day. And then when it came time to do the test, I tried to cram for the test, but I hadn't learned it in the first place. I don't have fond memories of history, and this is totally different than the way I learned it, which is fun, and I really want my kids to enjoy history, which is why I like using this. So I'm going to show you guys what we have. So this is the first thing. Now, like I said, you can do different things with Biblioplan. You wouldn't have to use this book, but I would recommend this, especially if you have kids anywhere from kindergarten up to 8th grade. So I am going to be using the things that I'm showing you today. I'm using with my 6th and my 8th graders. Normally I've done this as an entire family. Well, my son didn't usually join us, so it was last year my 3rd grader joined in with us, and it was fine. But there were times where my kids would have been 3rd, 5th, and 7th, and I felt like it would have been nice to beef it up a little bit and go a little more in depth with my 2 older girls, and sometimes it was over my 3rd grader's head. It doesn't have to be, but just because of the age range, I don't know. I felt like for us, I wanted to focus just on the big kids this year, so my younger one is doing something different for history. If you want to find out what she's doing, I'll link the video above that's got a playlist of all the stuff that we're doing this year. So this is the Remember the Days. This is the textbook, and this is the main thing that we read out of. And typically we do it 3 days a week. We've also had years where, to make the reading a little bit less, because I had a younger one with us, we just did it 5 days a week and we just read less. But they've got different reading plans. But the nice thing about this, so this is modern days, it is like a full color book. It's got all kinds of different colorful boxes. I've told you guys about this before, where in prior videos, where the different boxes that point out key points, key people, or key things that they need to remember, especially when they're due the questions and things like that. So It's very interesting. It's not just a black and white boring book, and I love that about this. So they have other options where you can add in the story of the world. I think they have a thing where you can add in mystery of history, or some people use that instead of this, and they have a high school companion book, but this is what we're using, and I love it. It's really great. So the next thing that I am using, so like I said, I have two of my girls, my 6th grader and my 8th grader, that are going to be doing this. And I got the cool history for middles. So I've got one for each of them. So you are allowed to make copies. And the first year I just got one of these from them, and I just made photocopies for my other kids, but I don't know, it was kind of annoying. So I wanted them to each have their own book, and it'll just be easier. And they're actually really excited to each have their own book. So what this is, it's kind of like, it's full of questions. It says questions and activities for a 34-week study of modern history. So it is just questions about the stuff you're reading. Well, here, some of the stuff is not questions, so there's a word search. But typically, it's going to be questions from the reading. So this is for week 5, and that's what it looks like. All those questions were in the reading. So there's different ways you can do this. We did, there have been times where I gave them the paper before we started reading, and I had them have it in front of them so they could fill it in as we were going, or just kind of pay attention to where that was. And there's other times where they just listened, and then I had them just answer this afterwards, kind of like a quiz. I never graded it, but that's more my intention this year. I think I'm gonna have them just listen and then answer the questions afterwards. It's not super easy. There's a lot of questions in here, and so last year we actually did cool history for littles, which is geared for younger kids, but it was fine. It was plenty fine for all of my kids, and we just kind of did it together. But this is a really cool book. It's just a good way to, if you wanted to call this a test, you could test them, or just a way to make sure that they got the information. So I've got 2 of those. And then I also decided to do the maps for my girls. We're doing a lot of geography study this year. So we're studying in our morning basket time, we are studying a big geography focus this year. So I thought this would be good because I'm not doing a whole lot with maps, but we're learning about all kinds of places around the globe. So this was a good fit for us. So I've got 2 of these, so I don't really need to show you both of them. But so this is what so modern history, it's going to have a lot of US maps, and which is cool because we learned where all the states were last year as a family. But it's just got maps with, it'll have like an assignment at the bottom of the page, and it tells you what to do. So like this one, this has the map here, and it's got lots of different instructions here, and you can have them do the first thing, you can have them do the first 3 things, you can have them do all the things. So they don't have to do everything. Like even here it says the challenge is, can you label the Philippine Sea on this map? Have them do that or not, it's up to you. But you don't have to, in case you guys get this, don't feel like they have to do everything on here. Sometimes I can't remember if I read it in the family guide, but it said, you know, I think some of these were geared towards maybe older kids. I can't tell you for sure, but I know that you don't have to do all of this stuff. So I don't want to bog them down with some of these. Like if you look at this one, this has a lot of activities to do on this map, and I may not have them do all of it, but I want to have them do enough that they get familiar. But it's nice that they're full color maps, and it goes along with the reading, and that's just something they do once a week. This is also something that they do once a week. So that's how we do our history. Okay, so the next thing I have is the family guide. So this isn't even out of the wrapping. So let me open it real quick. So the family guide, this is one of my favorite things from Biblioplan because it is what lets you choose how much or how little you want to do. You could just do these things that I just showed you and call it a day, and you wouldn't even need this. But this is nice because this has complete lesson plans and book lists for a 34-week study. It's a literature-based study of modern history for K through 12. So this will work all the way up to high school. So it's got everything in here. Let me show you an example. I won't do a real in-depth flip through of this today, but I might do that another time just to show you guys. It is broken down in grades. It's got a scheduled book list for grades K through 8 for the entire year, but it's broken down with like, this is K through 2 readers and 3 through 5. Then here we've got the grades 5 through 8 and some 8+. And this is all the books that fit in with Unit 1 that you could read, that you could add for your kids to read. So that's the literature aspect of it, but it's nice that it's got all this on here. You do not need to do all this. You can't do all this. It's too much. But it gives you options of what to do. It even has a page that has family read alouds here, that all those family read alouds, if you want to do a read aloud that has to do with your history, it gives you exactly what to do for each unit, for each lesson. It's so great. So this has a ton of stuff mixed in, lots of different activities you can do. It's got writing activities. It's got movies. It's got audiobooks. And then it also has memory work that you can do. So here, unit 1, this has all the optional memory work. So all that. It's got things, your kids can learn the words to all things bright and beautiful. Your kids can learn all the words to all the verses. Your kids, there's Bible verses, and a bunch of these look like parables. There's a quote by Harriet Tubman. There's a quote by George Mueller. The Charge of the Light Brigade, they can learn all of that. They're not going to do all of this. You choose what you want to do. So usually you might want to choose one thing or 2 things per unit that you want your kid to focus on, and you assign that, and that's just their memory work. Or you don't have to do this at all. But I love the options. I think that's nice. Sometimes curriculums that tell you have to do this and this and this and this, and there's no freedom. Somebody like me, I don't enjoy that. I like the freedom to be able to pick which ones I want to do and which ones I don't want to do. But I love having the options. I would not want to have to search through and figure out what memory work could we do for, this grade, for this time period in history and this specific week. I don't have time for that. So I love that it's all in there. And then this is just this is an example of like a typical week. This is the Remember the Days section, and it tells you exactly what you're going to read on day 1, day 2, and day 3. Like I said, if that feels like too much reading, break it up and read 4 days a week or read 5 days a week. That's totally up to you how you want to do that. It's got the companion textbook, which is typically for high school. It's got the, they have a bunch of different things that you can order from Biblioplan, which is the notebooking things. It's got a coloring book, Hands on Africa. It's got a timeline, which we've done before. Giants of Faith, which is like missionaries. Hands on Presidents. And then the cool history questions. So that's scheduled for day 3. That's what we got. Hands on Maps is also scheduled for day 3. But since that's the 2 things we did, I will probably move the maps over to day 2. And then it also has a craft book. So we have done different things every year, but this year we're just doing those 2 things. It's got a Bible reading if you want to add that in. It has an Usborne book. There's Story of the World. It tells you what to read for that. Story of Civilization. There's a child's first book of American history. History of Us. The Mystery of History. Then it's got some upper, middle, and high school history readings that you can do. And then the Kingfisher Encyclopedia we have in the back of the book. It tells you what you can read for that. And I do that with my girls, or I assign that for them to do, and it just adds on to the reading. And down here is your literature reading, and it tells you for this grade, have them read this week. For this 3rd through 5th, have them read this. 5th through 8th, have them read this book. So it's got missionary readings mixed in here. They've got, then this is the second page that has family read alouds. It's got all the hands-on things. And then there's optional things here. You may be hearing all that and being like, that's overwhelming, that's too much. You pick what will work for you. That is just, we literally only do a couple things on this list. I never even pay attention to some of these rows. But you do what you want to do, but I love that you can pick and you can do whatever works for your family. And you may do a family read aloud one week, and you may not do a family read aloud for a couple other weeks, and you might just do, an individual reading, or you might just do the textbook. I just love the options, okay? So anyway, that's what this book is. This book is like it's like your personal planner, like a little person that's planning for you and saying, you can do this and you can do this. Go through and highlight what you want to do, bookmark things, and I promise you will find some stuff in here that will work. So I love this, highly recommend this. I think this is the one thing besides the textbook that I would get every single year. Are you guys ready for the fun part? Okay, raise your hand if you're ready for the fun part. Okay, it's giveaway time. What I have in this box, okay, close your eyes. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I have a family guide for you guys. Now it is for year 4, so if it's not something you're doing this year and it's something it might help you down, next year or the year after, put it on your shelf. Either way, I'm giving this away for free. Biblioplan sent it to me and said that I could send it to one of my subscribers, and I am so excited to pick one of you guys for this. So it's still in the shrink wrap. I will mail it to you personally, and I am just so excited. So I hope that you guys find this exciting. I'm really excited. So this is exactly what I just walked through. That's what this is. So we'll be twins. Here's what you have to do to be entered into the giveaway. Super easy. So number 1, you need to be subscribed to my channel. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you subscribe and click that notification bell. The second thing, if you could like this video, and number 3, leave a comment in the video below and tell me something that you think sounds good about Biblioplan. You can tell me which of these books sounds the best, or if you've ever used them, what's your favorite thing, or if you haven't used them, why you think they would be a good fit for your family. That's it. That's all I'm asking for you to do. So make sure you're subscribed, make sure you like this video, and then leave me a comment to let me know about something that sounds cool about Biblioplan. Now, the only other thing that you need to make sure you do is make sure that I have contact information to be able to contact you. You can either leave your Instagram handle in your comment, or if you want to put your email address in your comment, just make sure I have a way to be able to contact you, because if I can't get a hold of you through your comment that you left on my video, I'll have to go on to the next person. I don't want to do that. So make sure I have a way to contact you somehow. So if you don't have Instagram, leave me your email address underneath of your comment, and I will be picking a winner at the end of the week, and I will let you guys know. So you have all week. Share with your friends, please. Okay, so thanks so much for watching. I hope you guys liked this. I'm so excited to start planning out our Biblioplan. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.